3, 2, 1.
Ooh,
That was really good. That was clean.
That was nice.
That was clean.
That was. Sure. It's literally like boys to men, but we're just boys and boys.
That was a little sexy. Actually, there's nothing to look at it.
I know. I don't know why you're looking at it.
Anyway, what is good, homies? This is Chris from the Small Hat Crew, joined today by Small Hat Nick.
Yellow.
And Small Hat Manny of Mannyfest.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing?
Today we bring you another podcast, as per usual. No topics written down at the very least. I have some off the top of my head.
All right, sure.
I'm at least a little prepared. We'll see how this unravels.
We're slightly prepared.
I thought you were gonna say as usual, like we schedule these fucking things. I'm like, bro, we haven't fucking put out.
We're supposed to do them every Thursday, but I don't know what the fuck happened with that.
I blame it on the holidays.
Well, I was gonna say also, I do think we should move them because of Garen, like working Thursdays normally.
That is true.
Yeah.
We'll figure this out off camera, I suppose. But anyway,
logistics.
Anyway, the first thing I don't remember what I want to talk about. Anyway, I guess while I try to remember what the main thing was.
With you.
While I try to remember what the main topic was supposed to be, I guess what we can talk about is we're not even there yet. But 3 captain structure deck.
You mean 3 brothers?
3 brothers structure deck. That is right.
Jesus Christ, bro. How do you function? Period.
I don't.
All right.
And so we gave stances and whatnot on the leaders, who we believe would be the best, who we believe would be the worst.
Opinions have changed. Opinions have changed.
So I remember.
No, our opinion of Ace is still the same. He's shit.
Yeah.
But it's just the Luffy and the Sabo.
No. I would still say my opinion of Ace went higher. He's still the worst of the 3, but he's a high. I hold him at higher regards than even before.
God, no.
What's crazy to me is, after some of the stuff I've seen, I'm a lot bigger on Sabo. I've seen tier lists where people rank Sabo below Ace.
That's fucking insane.
I don't get it. But anyway, so the main point of contention is Black Yellow Luffy. I initially assumed that he would be very ass because he requires you to be at 0 life.
Mm-hmm.
The only way that was happening was if you played against an incompetent opponent that didn't know what your win con was and played directly into it and put you on 0. Since that discussion has happened, Yellow has not only gained cards that you can use to put yourself at 0, because before it was just kind of like Lightning Bolt, maybe 1 or 2 other cards.
Well, I was just gonna say, literally in the starter deck, there's a 5-drop Luffy that trashes a life and draws a card.
Yeah.
It's literally insane.
There's that too. However, what I hadn't accounted for, because we assumed, we literally speculated that we would get more of those to enable that. What I didn't account for was that they would take 8-drop Black Gecko Moria and use him to play 22 Dawn turns.
Hell yeah.
Never saw that coming.
The thing is, Gecko Moria the Gecko Moria leader literally reads broken in just generic black decks. There's no reason, if you play black, there's no reason not to play that card.
Literally, because I remember when Gecko was revealed, we speculated that as time went on and the card got bigger and bigger, you only get more and more broken.
He just got broken 2 weeks later.
It just happened way sooner than I expected.
Yes.
22 Dawn turns. Literally, Gecko Moria is... So literally, Luffy on 0 life.
I can go over the combo if you want.
Go for it, man.
If you feel at any point I'm insufficient or whatever, just jump in or whatever. Just make a correction, that's fine.
Got you.
But Luffy is taking 2 of the 5-cost brothers, putting them in his life, playing Gecko Moria.
That's all 10 Dawn.
Moria is then putting 2 of the little 2-drop brothers on the board, tributing the 2 little brothers to bring the 2 out of the life. So you just gain 10 Dawn worth of characters right there, and then your leader shoots up 4K until your next turn.
And depending on the brothers you bring out, you either have blockers, you have a 2-card filter.
Yeah.
You could have Rush Ace.
You got Rush Ace if you're trying to push hard, and then the Luffy makes you 9K.
Literally, the options are all literally a 7K rusher, a body that's swinging for 8K on the following turn, or a blocker that cycles 2 cards and protects the entire board.
Yep.
It is actually absurd. I never in a million years did I think that's what Black Yellow Luffy was going to be doing.
Well, that's why, the players that play, and come up with these decks make the decks, and why we sit here and talk shit.
Honestly, valid.
Never Never in a million years was that where my head. I
would have never thought of the Gecko Moria in that instance. I would have, like, the way I was thinking about Black Yellow Luffy would be like every card that's like Thunderbolt, I'll play 4 copies of Thunderbolt, play like every card that's like Eat a Life to do something broken, I would do that and just think that was it. I wouldn't have thought of, oh, let me Gecko to bring out Luffy effect to bring out the grown up form, and then Gecko to bring out the babies, kill the babies.
I wasn't thinking about this fucking deck. I read the leader ability and said this is dumb, and just passed on it entirely.
Bro, I wasn't thinking, and I was like, because it's like you take Gecko out of the equation or whatever. Like the brothers seem so mediocre. So never at any point was I even trying to think of a way to break the brothers. Running them had never crossed my mind. I was like, well, of course they're
the only Black Yellow Luffy list that ever came across my mind was people playing 10-drop Kuzan that gives everything -5 cost with the Enel stage that rests itself to pop out 2 or lesses on board.
I love it.
Because people were just using it to shitpost the just huge pops every turn because you had to have a 7-cost Enel rusher. But, I mean, it just goes to show as time goes on, fucking power creep is going to be so real in this game, and honestly, I kind of can't wait.
Yeah, people will find ways to exploit cards and make broken, degenerate combos.
And speaking of power creep, it's crazy how we get to this point where Yellow Black Luffy has a 22 Dawn turn, and it's still not the best deck.
It's crazy to me that of the 3, so here's my coat. Here is my hot take.
Yeah.
I think because that deck's power play is so reliant upon seeing 8-cost Gecko Moria, I don't think that at the highest level of play, you know, as we get more big events and everything, I don't think that he'll be the most consistent performer.
Yeah, no.
No.
I really don't think he will be.
No,
He has to have the 4 cards in trash, which it really isn't that hard considering I think all of them have counter except for the 5/7 rush ace.
Yeah.
But yeah, seeing the Gecko or finding the Gecko is the hard part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally, you just have to draw it.
Well, yeah. But the good thing is, like, obviously you have the Sabo that filters 2, and then like you're playing Yellow that has some decent draw cards. Like Shirahoshi.
Oh yeah. Well, isn't that the only one?
No, there's a few more, but like I just can't think of it on the top of my head. But like
2-drop Toki, pick up a life, place a card in life.
Yeah.
You can find a Gecko in there. Honestly, they're playing black. He could just play Hogback. I don't think is Hogback leader restricted. I don't.
No,
know.
Hogback's not leader.
He could play Hogback and grab a Gecko back from trash if he somehow discarded it or milled it.
That sounds ass.
It is.
Oh, there's
Anything
also
for the win con.
on my also like if they want to play Kuzan. I don't know if they play Kuzan, but Kuzan draws.
Aren't they also like they gain like they're not even running it, but like the new 2-cost event that lets you rearrange life? Because I guess you could potentially like turn 1, leave 2 Dawn open. Your opponent swings at you, and then you look at your cards, and if there happens to be a Gecko in there, you just put them on the top.
Brother, counter events are trap cards. Nobody plays that shit unless it's at a trigger.
Yeah. Oh, they also play. I think they play on a Meteor Fist, don't they? Or is that just Gecko?
It's just Gecko.
Okay.
I don't think Luffy plays. Fuck. What is the Great Eruption?
Okay, I was like, the fuck is Meteor? I was so confused.
There we go.
I just went silent. I was like, what?
Yeah, no. The only deck that's viable in running events is Gecko Moria and
Doffy.
Sakazuki.
Running events?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's just those 2
Green
decks.
Purple Doffy
Is
lives
not
on
a
events.
viable leader. That's what I'm talking about. Viable leaders.
I guess. I don't agree with that, but it's all right.
Blue Purple Crocodile runs 8-0 cost events, Nick.
Yes, and
If we're discussing viable leaders, I think we got to put the boy in the conversation.
I don't
yeah?
think so.
Oh yeah, we got to put him in.
Honestly?
we got to talk about tier 0, don't we?
Yeah, Purple Croc.
Fuck no.
Speaking of, that is our next topic.
Oh my God.
I forgot we were going to talk
Purple
about
Croc
that.
got a ramp basically.
Bro,
where it just
I
-1 to
am
ramp
so-
2 every turn.
I'm
your
so
opponents.
pissed. Okay. All this time I've been saying what Purple Crocodile needs is a 3-cost stage. You need an Onigashima, Galley Law Company, purple leaders, 3-cost stages, tap Rampadon. Well, Baroque Works did gain a 3-cost purple card that ramps it on every turn. Only Purple Crocodile can do it. Miss Wednesday.
Whoa, that's not true.
They can both do it, but
Purple Croc could do it also.
She only nets 1 in
Yeah.
versus getting +1 on.
Well,
She doesn't net anything. She breaks even. She minuses one, then ramps one. She puts you back where you started.
Well,
No. Because you -1 to put it as active. So let's say hypothetically you're playing Blurple Croc, right? And you have the 8-drop Croc on board.
Oh, you're talking about opening Dawn for events or something?
Yeah.
See, that doesn't mean anything to me. Literally, that's not even ramping. That's not even ramping. You know, if I'm on 8 and
it's giving you Dawn for your defensive plays if you wish to do so.
Look. If I am on 6 Dawn, and next turn I'm supposed to go on 8 Dawn, and I used a ramp ability, and I'm still going on 8 Dawn, I didn't ramp anything.
True.
That's how I look at it.
Honestly, I'd rather have like 5-drop blocker kid on board, and then like play the 8-drop croc next turn and -1, 2, and get 1 back refunded.
Literally, only in Yellow Purple Crocodile does she actually ramp anything, because he refunds the Dawn she minused, and then she ramps the Dawn as well.
Yep.
So, they've taken Onigashima, and then it always comes back to Baroque Works. So this is an amazing card for Purple Crocodile or whatever, right? But in the grand scheme of Purple, and in the grand scheme of Onigashima's, she's the worst one. They went, all right, we got to give Baroque Works an Onigashima. Let's stick it on a character so your opponent can actually interact with it, and let's give it a condition of the opponent has to attack, so that if they can remove her before they attack, she doesn't do anything.
Yep.
Literally, Iceberg didn't even get that kind of treatment. They didn't even do that to Iceberg. Only Baroque Works.
You know what they did to Iceberg? That man can't attack.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah, but think about this. They gave him 5 life. Surely it made up for it.
5 life to not swing?
Surely it made up for it.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. No, it
did
didn't.
not.
Let's talk about, let's one topic I actually would like to address.
Sure.
Iceberg. Every time we mention him in a video, people in the comment section cope on Iceberg. Anytime that we mention him and say he is bad, people can't fathom why he is bad.
So me and Chris were thinking about making a video for this, and we still may make the video.
I think we still should.
All right,
Absolutely.
but
I want to make Iceberg
pretty
in real life
much
just to prove a point.
But pretty much for a little sneak peek of that video,
Actually,
if you cannot swing on turn, okay, you are falling back in tempo, period. We'll cover more in the video, but just base point, if you cannot swing every turn, you are letting your opponent get ahead in tempo because they're either not losing a life or they're not discarding cards, period.
Yeah, like, because I don't even think, because I think it could still be its own video, because not everybody, like, who cares about that topic will have watched this podcast for sure.
valid.
So, one of the really big things is your leader swing every turn is, if you were just to swing at opponent every single turn, you are either pulling a card out of their hand or you are taking a life off of them, which is getting you closer to every next win condition, reducing the opponent to -1 life. So, just by giving up leader swing, you give that up. Even if your opponent were to counter every turn, or no, just by giving that up, your opponent's hand is never shrinking. So every turn, they're playing with 1 additional card that they wouldn't have unless they gave up a life to make that happen. So I think the greatest way to also look at this is, let's say you're looking at your opponent, and all right, let's say your opponent, they see they're playing against Iceberg, right? They're green, doesn't matter what leader. So they go ahead, they go, okay, stick Bonnie on board, tap search. It is now your turn. You have 3 Dawn, and you can't do anything to the Bonnie. They don't have to put out a blocker or anything. Bonnie just sits there tapped, and you just stare at it.
Yep.
You now have to establish a body and then try to get the Bonnie on the following turn. You are now on your following turn. You're on your 4 Dawn. Should there be anything that you could do, let's say, I don't know, let's say your green leader's Corazon or whatever, right?
Powerful.
So you've cheated out of 5. Let's say I now 3,000 worlds, the 5 drop you just put on the board. You are once again in a position where you're now on your second turn of not being able to attack me. This is like what we're essentially let's say, like, even if it wasn't even like anything big, like let's say they stuck like a searcher on the board or whatever, right? They stuck a little searcher on the board to swing at Bonnie on the following turn. Let's say you Hound Blaze it and then you tap the Bonnie again. That's a second turn in a row where Bonnie's sideways and you can't do anything but look at it.
Yep.
And you're not able to do anything until you can stick and attack to the board. You can't do anything but look at that Bonnie until you hit 7 Dawn. Until you get to Poly, Bonnie goes. unchecked.
And then you spent your whole turn to play a 6K, ramp a Dawn.
Well, no, it's not your whole turn because you can just minus a Dawn to play the poly. You're only spending 2 Dawn.
Oh, you're right.
And then also thinking,
you're right.
I just
what was
remembered.
I thinking?
I just remember too, because I just remember the leader I said that we were going to use, for example, was going to be Core Zone. You finally stuck an attack to the board.
That leader's a blocker.
That leader is a blocker. You are struggling against
A Bonnie and a
Rosinante. Like, and that's just like one very specific example. That's just how much harder it is to challenge just searchers. It's ridiculous. And not to mention, that's just like that. Like, you're just playing against Red, for example. I can just play a Zoro, turn it sideways, and just swing at you. And you can't do anything about it. I can just leave him out there, tap, and have no fear from going anywhere. Because I know that you have one less attack to challenge board.
That's
and if you
wild.
have... What was that?
I'll say it's wild Jailer Beast got rushed before fucking Golly Law Company did.
Well, no. The Luffy has Rush.
I forget that loop. Garen's teching that fucking...
Garen is taking that in Mono Purple Luffy, but you can't play that off leader ability. You have to wait until you're at 6 Dawn to play it. It's a hard cast.
Yeah,
It's a
but still
6-7.
Rush.
It's 6-7, and you have to trash a 5 cost
True.
in order to gain Rush.
True. Now, this is just my ABC reason of Iceberg. Your opponent has 0 life. You draw a card. They have no life. They have no life, no blockers, no nothing, right? You got them to 0. Somehow you got them to 0, right? You have no cards in hand. You have all this open Dawn. No, you have 2 cards in hand. And you're also at 0 life. You're like, shit, I can win. Then you read your leader and realize you can't attack.
Bro,
Like just because that by itself, there are so many games where people be like, oh, well, like, if you plan it out. No. There's just games that you won because you out-resourced your opponent. They don't have any more blockers or anything, nothing. Now on your turn, you're going to do a 15K swing for game. But now you can't do that because my leader just says, I can't swing.
But what if they play 9 cost Rush Kaido? Then you win.
like, literally, I used Bonnie as, like, I think an example that highlights the flaw to the utmost degree. It is a 1,000 power body that just sits there and you can't do anything about it.
But if they play the Koriko Searcher to search a Golly Law card, they have a body that can attack the Bonnie.
And then if the Ko-Girl gets answered,
I love it as well.
like, literally, like, I was just using like, a 1,000 power body to truly highlight how terrible that is. Because bodies get so much bigger than that. Literally, if your opponent, you're just playing against a Sakazuki, they're sticking Lucchis and stuff like that on the board. God forbid, you're playing against Lucci, how do you ever establish a body to ever be able to swing? If Sakazuki takes a body off your board every single turn, Iceberg will literally just never swing until he gets to 9 Dawn and sees a Rush Kaido.
Yeah.
Like, it is so abysmal. And that was just OP05. Then we gain Gecko in OP06, and as power creep happens, it only gets worse and worse for Iceberg. Unless they give him better cards to be able to compete with the game. What?
I was gonna say, one of you should take Iceberg to Nats.
Bet.
Fuck
Do
no.
it.
You know what I think? You know what I think would actually bring him into the fray? Realistically, if there was a 5-drop Galley Law card that he could cheat out if he wanted to, that all that it says is
Negate leader ability.
negate leader.
Knew it.
ability.
Yeah. It'd make him so
Purple
much
has an nullify card. We could see it happen.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like Purple already has a card that says negate. So it's one of those things where it's like, at that point, I'm not saying he would be great.
Yeah.
But there would be merit then. It's this dude who could cheat out bodies, but then as the last card you play is this 5-drop that goes, negate my leader. My leader starts swinging.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, that's like people just go, well, he can't attack. They don't realize what that really means.
Yeah.
Giving up an additional swing every single turn. At minimum, pulling a card out of opponent's hand or taking life off of them or making a blocker disappear. Like, you just give that up. You sacrifice the ability. You give up an entire extra resource every turn to fight for the opponent's board. That no longer exists. That is so abysmal. To put yourself on having to establish bodies to be able to play the game, like to even be able to attempt to play the game, and then you also like literally just let your opponent, like the thing that made Whitebeard so ridiculous was the fact that he was just amassing so many cards. He would draw 2 every turn essentially. When you go ahead and factor in that you're never making your opponent discard cards, their hand just grows. The hand literally just grows. They have more cards in their hand. Usually when you counter, you like make decisions as to what cards are worth keeping now, what cards might come up in the following turn, things like that. They never have to make that decision playing against Iceberg. They just don't. Sure. They literally just don't. They just keep everything in their hand. They keep all their options available to them. And then when you finally do get to the point where you can attack them, they've amassed counter to be able to get out of the attacks. And also it's at that point where they're like, well, I'm so far ahead. Not only is my hand bigger, but now I can also just take the attacks to make my hand even bigger.
Yep.
Now my hand will grow even bigger. And then I'll go ahead and answer the body that you stuck on the board. Because the minute you swing at me, that body's turning sideways.
And another thing, which we kind of touched on already, within the game, there's just summoning sickness. So even if you did have these extra bodies to drop, they have to wait. And in a game right now, especially in this format where Sakazuki is just running wild, like, things just get answered way too fast. And then even in, like, I would even argue to say with, like, Enel, where it's like, or yellow decks in period, they can get to 9-drop Yamato, and they're going to be pretty healthy because you can't kill them fast enough. They'll probably have 3 life. You'll have 2 life. They're just killing your 5-drops by dropping 9-drops.
Yeah.
And, like, what are you going to do about it? Because you can't hit them to try to equalize it.
Like, it blows my mind that this is something that has to be explained to people. It should be so glaringly obvious. The fact that Bonnie can just sit there and look you in your face and search a card, and Bonnie has to be like, I think the worst example of it too, because not only is your opponent never discarding cards, they're adding an extra card to their hand every turn.
Yep.
Like, oh my god, it really does. Like if I feel people are either just so stubborn and stuck in the race that, like, if hearing all of that doesn't highlight what Iceberg's problem is, if you can, like, hear that. If you can hear Bonnie sitting on the opponent's board for 3 turns, turning sideways, going unchecked, and you can't do anything until 7 dawn, and that doesn't sway your opinion, or at least make you be a little rational, go, okay, maybe there is something there, then you're just stubborn. Like, you literally just refuse. You're willfully ignorant at that point.
Jesus.
I would understand, and I would even respect an Iceberg player that says, I understand that, and I'm building my deck to counteract that.
Yeah.
I would be like, that's fine. You're on some cope, but you know what? At least you understand your back is against the wall and you're playing that way.
Right.
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with being like, I want to try to make this leader the best possible leader it can be. But if you're just going to ignore, the captain's here.
That's not the captain.
That's people. That's right.
That's people.
That's the good one.
I think that's what
people just got so big.
He has.
Yes.
I think that's what irritates me, like, the most about, like, the Iceberg Sims, because him being bad is whatever. You know, people can enjoy playing bad leaders.
That's fine.
Love playing Blue Purple Crocodile. I am aware.
Wait, you're calling Blue Purple Crocodile bad?
He's not bad. What are you doing?
Bad as fun. He's a badass.
He's a bad man pajama.
Badass. But, like, obviously, you know, you can play leaders. You can enjoy playing leaders that aren't the best. What like, people can talk down on Blue Purple Crocodile, and I'm like, hell yeah, you know, because I'm not delusional, you know. I can be, but with Iceberg players, you tell them that leader's bad, they get angry and irrational, and they just refuse to listen to reason.
Yes.
I will say this, and then for anyone that says I'm wrong, you're wrong.
Is it because they're coping on Water 7 and Galila being a good arc? Is that the whole...
No.
No.
Okay. To be fair, Water 7 is only good.
It's not.
Because Ennis Lobby follows it.
Neither of them are.
No. I think together, they're a fantastic arc.
Okay. All right.
Together, they're a fantastic arc.
Well, Manny, I will say you've just won over some people in the comment section, because that is the popular opinion.
That is
my hot take. My hot take is that I hate that arc. That arc has, like...
No. So I will say the best arc in One Piece, my opinion, is Whole Cake Island.
It's Whole Cake. It's not even close. It's Whole Cake.
Whole Cake is...
I didn't make it
It's
that
fucking
far.
Whole Cake.
Whole Cake is a really good
So
arc.
good. It's so fucking good.
It's a really good arc.
Sanji can never be redeemed for me.
No, you watch Whole Cake, he does it.
No.
He
He's
does
definitely...
it. Yeah.
Yeah, he redeems himself. He redeems himself.
Whole Cake's
He
so
redeems
fucking
himself. His character is redeemed. I would also say it's a very long arc, but for whatever reason,
Is it?
One One Piece fixed its pacing issue only for that arc.
Bro, that arc is so good. Bro, that arc is
You know
so
why?
good.
You know why?
And it
'Cause
has the worst fucking color in this game. Look at what it did to us.
That's true.
No.
You're gonna go get him.
It's done some great things to us.
You're getting the boy.
You're getting the boys.
It's done some great things. Let's not forget.
Oh God.
I'd rather forget.
You want to forget this?
Yes.
No.
If it means Yellow doesn't exist, I'll forget our homie.
You'll forget 40 copies of Zeus?
Yes.
I'll bring it up above the tangerines.
Oh, you're right. You'll forget. No, I think it's time we open it.
Really?
What do you mean?
You don't want to
open
keep
it?
them sealed for when we.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, you gotta keep them sealed. You're gonna get them
right.
graded.
That's right. We're getting 40 copies of Zeus graded.
We're getting 40
of
copies
Zeus
of
graded.
Zeus graded.
Yeah. You'd give this up to get rid of Yellow?
Yes.
That's wild.
That's wild.
It's a small sacrifice. to make.
Small sacrifice
That's $5 in your hand, brother.
for right now.
What are you talking about? That's 40 Zeuses. That's 4 copies of Zeus a structure deck. A structure deck is $20 a piece. That's essentially $200 worth of Zeuses.
And if this is only $5 worth of cards, then how come the grading fees are $600?
God.
Explain that.
God.
Explain it.
I can't.
God, so what we've been thinking is for the Small Hat. Oh, Small Hat Local, by the way. Small Hat Local is tomorrow. Today's the last day to sign up.
I was gonna say today's Thursday.
No, but when this
Yeah,
airs,
yeah.
it'll be Friday.
If you have not already registered for the Small Hat Local, link is in the description. It's $6 entry fee. If you win it all, you get I was gonna say $10.
$10.
$10.
Yeah, we're scamming already.
You got $100. If you get third place, you get 20.
And second place gets 40.
Well, no,
Why
no.
did you skip second?
Well, Vic's gonna take second.
Oh,
Vic,
no.
Boy.
Has he always taken second
Vic's,
so far?
Vic's always taking second.
Oh,
It's-
it's
it's-
mandatorily his spot.
It's funny, like
Vic is never going to win. He just always second place.
after he said it's his curse.
Oh, damn.
Last time I sent him the $40.
Yeah.
He was like, Small Hats just buy my groceries at this point.
Hey, bro. It be
ball.
like that, real. It be like that.
Bro.
Like, sometimes $100 a week is what makes ends meet, you know?
Bro. I do think as the local gets, so ideally what I want the price support to be, once we can start consistently hitting 32 to 40 people, I'd like to raise it to 100 for first, 60 for second, 40 for third. But until then, that's currently what the price support is. It's $100, $40, $20.
Wouldn't it make more sense to do 120 for first, 50 for second, and 30 and 20 for third? Wouldn't that make more sense?
I want third place to walk out with 40 because I feel like there's gonna be a lot of times where third place is just gonna be decided by who got the better tiebreaker.
Oh, true.
And that feels so shitty, you know?
I get that.
Yeah. So, because right now I already think it already feels kind of shitty. Just like that happening and I'm getting $20. So.
Hey, I'm just saying we could do that small hat bounty thing that we talked about before.
Oh yeah. That reminds me though. So what we were thinking is we are gonna get 40 Zeuses graded. They're on the label. It's gonna say that that will have a Small Hat crew pedigree on them and whatnot.
Yep.
And we were thinking that in addition to the $100 every week, we'll give out a graded Zeus as a trophy as well. We'll have a
First
small
place
hat.
Do you want to
Zeus.
give them context for
Small
why
hat
it's Zeus and not something else?
Zeus is the homie. What the fuck context do you need?
So first,
I know. You gotta let them know.
tell them, Manny.
Tell them.
Tell them.
Tell them.
Well, because Zeus is ride or die, bro. He's always been there. He's the simp of simps.
So,
That sounds like you're describing Sanji right now, bro.
They're the same person. One's a cloud, one's the white guy. I don't know.
all right. Now, first of all, Zeus isn't a simp. So
He is a simp.
You know, he's not.
He is.
He's not. He's literally not. He's a badass. He's cool as fuck. He's alpha as all hell.
He literally just follows Nami because she essentially has cloud candy.
Zeus gets so many bitches.
All the
He
bitches.
stacks his paper all the way to the ceiling.
Yeah.
He smokes too tough. No, so I don't know if people even realize the reason that we even call you homies is because of Zeus.
Yeah.
Zeus is the original homie. That is where the name came from. The homies. It is literally because of Zeus. Zeus is that's why there's a Zeus emoji, a
In
Zeus
the
emote
server.
in the server. Yeah, it's literally it's all Zeus. Zeus is unironically my favorite One Piece character. Look at that man. Look at him.
That fucking hat,
Got his little pinwheel hat on. Bro's powerful.
It doesn't even have a pinwheel, bro. It's just a rainbow hat.
Bro,
Yeah.
it's not even rainbow. It's red and white.
You know, he is our favorite character we know nothing about.
I feel like y'all know less and less of him.
Bro.
Every sentence y'all
He
speak.
is so strong. He's so strong.
Okay. You know what? You know what would be the argument for this thing? All you had to say was he's so strong. After Big Mom dies, and her power should have been erased.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert. He's still kicking.
I haven't made it this far, bro. What the fuck? No.
First of all, Bruce Willis has been dead at the end of Sixth Sense.
Okay.
We're at that point.
So let's look at it like this.
Yes.
Onami. Insane card. Absurd card, right?
Yeah.
All Nami has ever done is move a Don around and search a card, right? All of a sudden, she becomes yellow. She costs 3, and she's giving characters and leaders. Cost 2. Oh, God. Zeus could cost 2 if he wanted to. Let me just put that out there. If he really wanted to, he could cost 2. All of a sudden, though, now Nami's turned yellow, and she's giving characters banish. Why do you think that is? Little Nami gains Zeus in the anime, and all of a sudden she's gaining Zeus's ability.
Actually, you know what? I never put 2 and 2 together. You're actually right on that one.
Bro, it's Zeus. It's Zeus. It's all Zeus. Literally, Zeus joins the small hats, and not to mention, people are always like,
oh yeah, Thunderbolt. She has Thunderbolt's trigger, which is Zeus, and she has his banish. Like banish, I got. Thunderbolt was like, oh yeah, I'm kind of stupid.
People always like, the next one to join the Straw Hats is gonna be Vivi. It's gonna be Yamcha. It's Zeus. It's Zeus! He's already done it! And he's so slick with it, people didn't even notice. People didn't even notice that he was the next Straw Hat. When you look at the Straw Hat bounties and whatnot, notice who's the only one sly enough to be rolling with the small hats and have no bounty on his head. Why do you think that is? He got the government fooled.
You're right.
Bro.
What was I thinking, Chris?
Bro, Zeus.
How could I have ever not seen the true potential that is Zeus?
Zeus is so strong. Oh my. But yeah, that's why we were thinking about making him a trophy. He'll be a trophy that you win, you get your $100, you get your Zeus. You get your 5-cent Zeus that has $40 worth of grading put into him. And you know what?
There's more money in the process of putting a small hat sticker or logo on him and then grading him than what the card is actually
The
worth.
small hat name just goes on the label.
It goes on the label.
Have you seen a PSA card that has the name of the card, the grade, and all that? It just says Small Hat Crew on it.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
Bro, it's gonna be real strong. Almost as strong as Zeus even.
But not quite.
That's just not feasible.
Of course.
It's just not feasible. But yeah, that's what I've been thinking regarding that. We're thinking that until we do get them graded, we'll probably like just throw them up on the set as decoration or whatever.
Yeah.
Just 40 Zeuses.
I love it.
40 graded Zeuses on the set.
Okay. One topic I would like to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Green Black Perona.
Yeah, she's doing shit.
She's doing shit.
She's making moves, bro.
She's doing shit.
I'm actually really excited about it.
I really like it. Like the fact that I can just, yes, you're going to spend Dawn on cards. I'm going to tap those cards. I'm just going to run them over early game.
Yeah.
And then late game, she gets to lower cost and power pop shit.
You know what variant I didn't realize that people are playing with her, and then like it's one of those things where it's like it's not like the Gecko Moria with the yellow black Luffy, where it's like you had to see that interaction in your head to make it all come together.
Yeah.
This is just a concept that was much more simpler, and I just didn't think about it.
What?
Where it's you do a navy build with Perona, and then what it is that you search out the X Drake that pops.
Are you trying to do Isho to her?
Yes, he is.
But are you trying to Isho Perona?
Yeah, but the thing is, why she's better is because she can either force
she got biddies.
She got biddies.
She got biddies.
She has biddies. She has a stronger card pool.
Her own day. Perona Tuesday.
Yes, her own day. But the thing is that either one, she forces the tap so that the X Drake could pop, or
There's also the Ryuma, which is insane.
exactly.
Yeah.
But that's essentially just another copy of X Drake, or if the character's already tapped, you can start popping 5 drops with the X Drake. Be like, -1, play X Drake, pop it.
Yeah.
Like, and the fact that the black cards are searchable, and then like you just play like all the busted black cards that are navy, and then you just kind of run wild about it.
There's one topic I am very interested in. Oh, well, I guess still on the topic of Green Black Perona. So it's crazy. Now she's finally doing stuff. It's terrible that it was all kind of like the snowball got rolling off of her flagship performance.
God, that flagship.
Manny, did you watch the flagship performance?
I saw one of the matches after you guys told me about just the clusterfuck that it was, and the one that I saw was a clusterfuck.
It's crazy. It's like literally, because once she finally started doing things, it's like, okay, cool. Let's see why that is. And then we watched the flagship. So the guy that goes on to win the whole thing, he is on stream for the last 3 rounds. The first game of his opponent has 8 cards in hand and 4,000 counter. Opponent literally loses because they picked up a 2K, and rather than keeping it in their hand,
They played it.
they put it on the board. That literally, the first game, Perona, like, if he had just kept it in his hand, he won that game. There's a reality where and not to mention, if you have that many, not to mention when he did that also, he had 0 counter in his hand. So literally, he just needed to keep that counter. He just threw it on the board. So in a reality where the opponent just doesn't misplay, Perona's run ends right there. But that happens, so Perona continues on in the event. Then she faces her next opponent. 9 cards in hand. 4,000 counter. Right here, all of a sudden, it's starting to look like Perona has a secret third ability. You know, your opponent just has
no counter.
No counter. Her grand finals. Opponent has 8 cards in hand. 4,000 counter. Immediately took note of that. And like, people are watching, are like, my God, Perona played out of her mind. It's like, that's not what happened. Did we not watch the same?
Did not draw fucking cards with counter.
All 3 games, the opponent had no counter. All 3 games, the opponent was bricked. Literally all 3 games. Like, I'm happy to see she's finally doing things. It's crazy that that's what, like, her first showcasing was.
Oh, no, granted. And then, like, not to say that she's a bad leader in any way, shape, or form. Obviously, if these players either drew counter or realized I should have just kept this counter,
I should keep my only counter in my hand.
Yes, then these would have been different games. But I'm glad that spark caused now people to really look at the deck, which now is the builds that we're looking at that are now presenting real wins.
Yes.
Not saying the dude didn't win because he played the best of his ability. His opponents just tripped up
the first one just misplayed, the other 2 just bricked.
Yeah.
But
Hell yeah, people.
Hey, but you know what? We take those. Because those are still Ws, and we take our Ws here.
But on the topic of OPO6 leaders that were underperforming and seemed to finally be... Oh, wait, no, it wasn't only 5 rounds.
Yeah, it was a 5-round flagship. Red Purple Uta won a flagship.
Yeah, I heard that. I got excited. I saw it was only 5 rounds. So, okay.
Well, it's 5 rounds, then 3 rounds from top 16, 8, and then finals. So 8 rounds in total.
Yeah, but it's 8 rounds.
5 rounds of Swiss, then top.
It's 5 rounds of Swiss, and then it's players from the same pool of your 20-player local, essentially.
Essentially,
so, like, that's just playing out top cut of a local. So,
but hey, he did it. Good for Red Purple Uta finally doing something.
I'm hoping that this has the Perona effect and start to spark and people do something. Because my God,
guys, Uta's so good.
God,
the art's great. I can't ignore that. The art's
I like Uta leader's ability a lot. I hope it sees play more. Honest to goodness.
I think the game's probably just getting to the point where your leader ability can't be taking a card out of your hand. I honestly think that's her death sentence.
You know what I think?
More Gecko takes a card out of your hand.
But he puts
but he puts it back on the board.
You don't lose advantage. You break even.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You know what I think is kind of where I think, and like I know that's kind of like the whole grand scheme, but when it comes to card games, where it's that once someone solves a deck and then it is performing, people just assume that's best deck until whatever. But I think it's showing more where it's that. Because during set 1, people were going straight to the lab with One Piece, being like, I'm going to try out this leader, I'm going to try out these cards, all that. And the more we're going into these sets, it's becoming that people are just not wanting to experimentate at all. Because the reason why during set 5, at first in OCG, Purple Luffy was best deck because it was the easiest to solve. Yeah. It was solved. People were like, it does what it does. We're going to play it. Not saying it's a bad deck, but it was the easiest to solve.
Yeah, it was.
Then it wasn't until later when Zakazuki got solved. is then now Sakazuki came out running. People were like, this is a better deck than
Yeah,
Purple Luffy. But it took longer for it to get solved. And it's getting to that point where it's like, people are not wanting to take the time to solve these decks to then be like...
they have 6 sets worth of cards to look through to try and be like, who the fuck thought about playing Hina and fucking Sakazuki and then realized, holy shit, this is great with this new Rebecca card. And then now Hina's a $20 common.
Yeah. And that's what I'm talking, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying this is copium for you Iceberg players, all right? Like, him as a leader is wrong.
He's wrong.
He's just wrong. Him as a leader is wrong. Like, hell, even Vivi gives the other card she plays Rush.
Yeah.
Like, and she's not even doing great, okay?
Yeah.
But like, that's just this thing of One Piece. I'm realizing that, like, kind of like the Perona, people were not going to touch that card because everyone's like, it's going to be Yamato, because Yamato was solved fast.
Yeah.
Gecko was solved
fast. Yamato is still being built because they're now switching over to playing 8-Drop Kid. Fucking
I saw that.
Yamato with 8-Drop Kid is so ridiculous. Like, it's actually insane because they still play the Rosinante blockers, they still play the Hody Jones, and then they just sit on 8-Drop Kid.
That's the craziest part about, like, because the Rosinante blocker, literally,
I love that
by
card.
default, Kid is tapped.
Yep.
So he's either blocking the attack or, like, you could, this, like, if this
The
were to
only
have
out
existed,
is like Red Rock.
Bottom decking.
yeah, if it existed like an OPO1, there would be no Otama jet pistol that man. Corazon would just take the hit.
Yeah.
Like,
Look at that cute man.
Oh,
it's it's just an added layer of protection. Literally, the only deck answering him is going to be Sakazuki. It's just going to be Sakazuki.
But they have to now play Red Rock or spend a huge amount of turn to lower that man's cost.
It's not even a huge
Well,
amount,
but
though,
that's-
because it's like Ice Age leader attack gets him down to 2.
Or it's like play Rebecca, gain a blocker in the process, and a 5k body, and you've lost 4. You know, from their leader ability, you're now cost 3. All it takes is a Great Eruption or a Suru.
Or even if you do the Hina combo, you just fucking 3,000 Worlds.
Yeah, because it's not even like we're talking about anything unreasonable. This is what he already does.
Yeah. True.
He's already doing it, you know? So
Yeah, but
this is par for the course.
Oh,
for
yeah.
him at this point.
What's it called? Ice Age 7-drop Borsalina. There you go.
Yeah.
He's down.
It doesn't even take literally
yeah,
Ice Age leader swing Houndblaze.
Yeah, but at that point,
That's
I'm
wasting
not.
attack.
I'm not saying he doesn't have all the answers in the world for it. He does,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
But that's still a lot of card investment
That was 2 cards.
and Dawn investment. Because the thing is,
that
you
was
need
3 Dawn.
specifically what?
Ice
Houndblaze,
Age,
Ice
Houndblaze
Age.
leader attack. It's 3 Dawn.
3 Dawn, 2 cards.
Goddamn, I said.
We love Sakazuki.
And your leader gained 3k in the process.
Well, no, because your leader had to swing.
Oh, he
again.
swung already. That's right. That's
Something
right.
else.
Something brand new's become 6k.
Yep.
Brand new is this guy.
Trevor's nightmare. For real.
Yeah, like I don't know. But I think for the most part, though, I think because Yamato's done that because she had to adapt. I think for like the beginning, though, I think it'd be fair to say that she was solved for what the meta was at the time.
Yeah.
And then as she fell off as no longer being top dog, they then adapted to become what she currently is. And she's still experimenting and trying to figure herself out, but
Yeah, which is the original point, which is that she was easy to solve.
Yeah.
They solved it. That's why she was running rampant.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, double attack on a leader, that's always going to be very
So
like
dumb.
Strap on the helmet. Click, click.
it's it doesn't take a genius to figure out the
How-
win con there
yes.
is swinging big, you know.
There's also a green event that I've been seeing Peronas play. It's like some Fishman event from that Hody Jones came out. It's just KO2 rested 3 cost or lower characters. It's so dumb with her deck.
I love it.
That is pretty good.
That's a good card.
I've not seen that. I want Red Purple Uta to do something. I just don't. Because when you just think like all the other leaders are doing their thing for free or gaining advantage. Like Gecko breaks even, or if he hogbacks, he goes +1 off his leader ability. And then the other is Yamato. If she connects, she's a +2. The opponent loses 2 life. Like,
Perona is also a +1 because you're ripping a card off your opponent's hand.
also so other targets, Perona character and Gecko, that is. But yeah, and then you just have Uta who says I lose a card and then I ramp it on. So
And give something -2k for the turn.
yeah, and then it's like, what does she even?
Because that's so much for 1 card out of hand.
It is. I also think like Ucha's obviously not figured out. It's like she's finally done something. One, it was only a 5-round event. Two, he's not even playing Shanks. So I think that
He
deck
was not playing
that
Shanks,
deck
which is wild because
is made for
just
her.
kills Big Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm hoping that America, or not even specifically America, but
America.
East,
Hell yeah, brother.
Eastern meta can do something with her.
Cheeseburgers.
I'm hoping with her being a red leader that sparks the interest of East Coast, because I was gonna say we love our red leader. We're not even playing Whitebeard anymore.
Well, the thing is,
We're playing Ace now. Ace is the meta.
yo, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really happy Ace is doing something.
I'm not.
I am because
so
like
cringe.
I don't know. I just like playing
I
Emperor
don't want
as
to play
a
with
card.
that donut, bro.
So cringe. So cringe. I'd rather just play Sakazuki and put a fist through his chest.
Valid.
Yeah.
Why be the donut when you could be the donut maker?
True.
The Baker's dozen. 13 aces lined up.
Damn it.
Yeah. I don't know. That was like, I don't really have any other topics off the top of my head unless any of you guys have something specific in mind that you'd like to talk about.
Well, the only thing that I could think of off the top of my head is that now if someone could find the chart from one of the One Piece discords, it may even be in ours. I don't remember where it was. But apparently it's showing that even though all these decks are coming out in set 6,
Yeah.
the best decks are still in set 6 based off OCG numbers are Sakazuki and NL.
Yeah.
And I think that is crazy.
The OPO5 leaders are still the best performing leaders.
The only topic I have for this is I just fucking stop making yellow cards, please. That's all I want.
See, I agree with you. Unfortunately, I'm a yellow slut right now because that's how Nell is going to be paying for my set 6. And Nell is going to be paying for my set 6 boxes. So, your boy got to do what your boy got to do.
Disappointed in you, Manuel.
Hey, bro,
I'm fucking
at
with you.
least
I don't give a fuck.
at least he's more reliable and skillful than Katakuri. He's also better.
As cringe as Yellow is, if I had to play Yellow leader, it would be NL.
I was about to say, like, you're not relying on 10 drop mom at least.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm not that degenerate. I am mathematically planning out the attacks I could take, the attacks I can guard, and it's not me conga lining 10 drop mom.
Yeah, but you're still like triggers. I hate triggers so much.
And then it's like you're conga lining Yamato instead.
Yeah, but the thing is, a conga, but to me to even conga line Yamatos, I have to be at 1 life. Big Mom 10 drop just says you just drop me at any point in the game.
No. That's fair. You can drop her whenever. However, realistically, you're a no. Why aren't you at 1 life? Like,
Yeah, you just take hits until you're at 1.
yeah.
All right, I'm like, there has to be an easy part to the plan, okay? The easy part is just getting there.
I do think there has to be an easy part. Otherwise, you're not top tier. You know, the plan has to be easy to execute.
Yeah, exactly. Because
The
the thing
plan is simple.
If it's simple, then it's consistent.
exactly,
And if it's consistent,
because if that's the case, I would go back to my green purple Doffy, which my Sakazuki matchup was great. I was doing arrow I was doing like rocket science while the Sakazuki players were just doing basic math. But I could beat them, but I'm working 3 times as hard just to make sure, because one part of my math equation goes wrong, I lose the whole game. There could be 10 questions on a math test on this math test. I get 1 of them wrong, I failed the whole test. Sakazuki can get 6 of them wrong and still pass the test.
Hell yeah.
are you telling me
Yes.
your rocket science is just not fucking up your stack?
We don't want
For
GP
what?
Doffy.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right.
GP Doffy.
Oh, no, because I already had another topic in mind.
Oh.
When you said Doffy, because I want to talk about the Edward Weevil debacle. What's happening regarding that?
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Like, we could definitely talk about that.
No,
Apparently
but
people
still on the
need more.
green purple
Yeah, Doffy.
Doffy. So why are you not taking
Green purple Doffy to
green purple
to
Doffy?
events.
Yes,
It's
Anel's better.
Enel is better.
obviously.
Enel is better.
Yep.
The problem with Doffy is that even with the hybrid version, so this is a problem. The film version required for you to win, you need to get to the 10 drop Doffy, but there's no reliable way to get there. Then you would say, well, let me do a hybrid version. The hybrid version then puts you in this weird situation where it's kind of the same problem where, unlike LoL, where like all of his searchers could search your common cards, what happens is that the 7-drop Luffys get thrown to the bottom, or the 10-drop Doflamingos get thrown to the bottom by your film searchers. And then it's one of those things where it's like you almost get punished for searching your cards. And then when you do pure Don Quixote Pirates, you're like, yeah, you get to search your 10-drop and you search your counter events, but your mid game is just atrocious. There's no mid-game cards that are good in Don Quixote Pirates. All your good mid-range value is in your film package, but then your searchers are conflicting with each other.
Yeah,
and that's the problem.
Yeah.
If there's a magic ratio, then I'm still looking for it. But that's the thing, is that your searchers are conflicting with each other, and because you need certain cards for different parts of the game, if you don't hit them on those parts, you lose.
Well, there has to be more to it than that, because Ace right now is playing both Nami and Izo, and he's doing fine.
Well, the thing is because he has so many of the events, and the events are dual purpose to him.
That's true.
Because the thing is, they either they're a counter, their attack, they're their own cards, or they're cards that resurrect Marco.
Yeah.
So those cards have so many uses outside of that, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, because the problem I always felt with it was that, like, your win con being Birdcage.
My win con was never Birdcage. The way I envisioned Birdcage was depending on the matchup, is either a floodgate or a dark hole for all my Yu-Gi-Oh people out there. But the way I usually use Birdcage is that I would usually hold it in hand, and the Birdcage was like my soft 10-drop Doflamingo, whereas that my opponent will swing with their whole board. I will guard it, defend it, and then on my turn, if there's enough like suitable targets, I would just play the 5-drop, swing with my big things, but not my little things. Play the Birdcage, end turn, let the Birdcage go and pop, and then do like a 2-3 card pop,
Yeah, but that sounds like it also requires your opponent to play into the 10-drop Doffy.
Yeah.
Which is at the same time what they're always.
But that's the reason why, like,
Yabba
Yabba do. But that's the reason why the Birdcage is like
yabba.
my kind of 5th, 6th copy of 10-drop. But at the same time, that card just isn't enough.
It's not. That's what I always kind of felt like, because a lot of Green Purple Doffy lists were like really leaning on that card, and like, cause like the deck's being built around like keeping it on the board and stuff like that, and it's like, I don't think the card's strong enough to be building a deck around it.
No, it's not.
You're just thinking about like one of the top decks, and now after like I want to say for like the last like 60 to 70% of the game against Adele, that card does nothing.
No,
it doesn't affect him at all. It's relevant like turn 2 when he puts Ohm and Holy on board, maybe Geratsu. After that, after he gets to the point where he's able to start putting Yamatos and Kadakuri, never again. That card will never do anything.
Yeah, because the thing is by his 4th turn, he's already dropping Big Mom and Nell.
Yeah.
And if he's not dropping Big Mom and Nell, he's going to do Ohm combo then. And at that point, you already established the Birdcage. He's just not going to swing with them because he has the luxury to take all this damage. And then he's just going to wait for the Birdcage to go. And then from then, he's just going to play his top end. And then if he really wants to, the Ohm played the Holy. When he gets to 8 Dawn, he could just Catapult the Holy away because he generated that card for free. That's a free card to heal off of now.
Yeah, like literally the card just doesn't do anything at that point. And then one argument I really hate is like because now it's a dead card in your hand, right?
Yeah.
Well, you could pitch it for a 0 cost. You have to have a 0 cost event.
Well,
so, until you
to be fair though, the 0 cost event is searchable with Baby 5.
Sure. But basically, you're now saying I'm running a card where unless I see this 0 cost event, I'm just playing down a card.
Yes.
I'm playing down a card and I'm waiting to see another card. And at the end of the day, all that card also really does is I go 3K and I minus 2 cards from hand.
Yep.
Like, that's not even all that great. So, like, that's why, like, a card like Hina, for example, like, because Black could be doing that with Hina this entire time. But what it took for Hina to finally see play was a leader that could consistently take her out of his hand, turn the brick into something else that he can play.
Yeah.
He discards her as a brick and he plays her back off of the Hina. Like, no other Black leader is just holding Hina in their hand, waiting to see a 0 cost event. Like, that's absurd. That is absolutely crazy. And that's how I've always looked at the Birdcage. Because I feel like it'd be good into Sakazuki, obviously.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's Kuzan, there's Lucci, there's Rebecca.
There's Borsellino.
Right.
There's all that.
But aside from him, I think it's a lot rougher. Because also that it's like another one of the top 2. And it's once we get like past the first top 2 decks, like the drop off is pretty significant. Next there's like Purple Luffy.
Yeah.
But a lot of his 5 drops are also blockers, you know? So it's like he can go, all right, I just won't turn them sideways. They still have a purpose.
Yeah.
They still have a function.
Now, I will say, I think Green Purple Doffy's time is possibly up right now.
Bro.
I don't think, though, he's out forever. Because he has a generic effect, a good generic effect, and he's dual colored. So realistically, we're just waiting for another green purple combination that's good, and I believe he can come back into the fray.
Blue Purple Crocodile's time isn't up.
Yeah, exactly.
Once we get blue film, get blue film, it's over. It's over.
So you think the answer is blue film?
Fuck no. I think the answer is the card that we will now never get, because it would mean that. And now there's another card I think they could give him. So, but we won't be getting it in this set. So before it was a ramp stage.
Mm-hmm.
That's not happening. They already gave Purple Croc his Onigashima on a character.
Yeah.
His Onigashima gets fucking bottom decked by Houndblaze. So I think that also says quite a bit. But that means I think the next wave, I think we pivot. Now instead of a stage that ramps, a stage that lowers the cost of Baroque Works characters by 1. It is blue Crocs, 7 cost Crocs ability, but for Baroque Works characters rather than just events. That way, your Miss Valentine searcher now becomes the 1 cost searcher she should have always been.
I'm not gonna lie, I see that already. You would just make the stage the freaking casino.
Yeah.
We've talked about this. We wanted the casino for a while.
All this time, I honestly thought we were gonna get a stage that was the casino. That's it. Tap this card, ramp 1 Dawn. Like, but no, that's not happening anymore because now Miss Wednesday exists. So I think it has to be this other event.
Fucking VV, bro.
The problem with this event, with the stage, however, if it were to lower everything by 1, that means it's a blue event. We're getting purple Baroque Works right now. So that means we are now looking at minimum OPO7 for Croc to get what he needs.
Or EB2.
I feel like that'd be even further out. So
yeah.
At the absolute earliest, for Croc to get what he needs, because your searcher would finally become 1 Dawn. The searcher event Baroque Works, it would become free. You could put the Dawn on your leader instead to actually get the draw off of it. I mean, now, like, I really do believe that this has to be, this is the alternative. He needs a stage. You'd be able to drop you could ramp up to 7 really fast. You could be dropping your 7, your 8 drop Croc becomes 7 drop Croc. You just play that instead.
Yeah.
Like, and also even like 7 drop Croc. If he were to become a 6 cost character, that's also, because putting him down on 7 and then him getting answered, it's abysmal.
Yeah.
At 6, it's not as costly, and he has counter.
I do just want stages to be a more prominent part of the game. Cause I feel like stages are just a thing that we have.
Yeah.
I need stages to be more interactive with the opponent, just because like Black's the only card that has a card that just goes, hey, get rid of your opponent's stage.
I was gonna say, I think also too, so I think we need more stage removal before we can even begin to think about like that. Because
hell yeah, give us an MST that gets rid of stages and bring back Moby Dick.
Yes.
Yeah, because the stages were
back
just
the
to
dicks.
remain ridiculous, and they just can't be removed. That's a problem right there.
Yeah.
I would like stages to get to the point where they are good and they're viable without it being that because right now we're kind of at a point where, aside from Whitebeard, stages are kind of in a place where either they don't do anything, they're unplayable, or your entire deck is built around it. Like like Rebecca and Quarter Coliseum.
Yeah.
I would like us to be able to have stages and be able to look at it like, oh, this would be a nice card to tech into my deck or something like that.
Yeah.
Because right now it's like either your deck wants to play a stage or it doesn't. And that's literally it. There's no in between.
The funny thing is, the only other deck that I could think of that even plays a stage in all seriousness is Ace, and they only play one copy of Striker.
There's that. I've seen, I don't agree with it, but I've seen some Bello Betties tech a stage. I've seen the most ass utilization of a stage I've ever seen.
Which is?
Red Purple Luffy playing Thousand Sunny.
I saw that. I mean, was that the locals at Sunshine?
Bro, it was on the sim.
Oh, never mind.
And that's why it happened.
I saw someone at Sunshine have Red Purple Luffy, and I saw them have Sunny, and I was like, oh man, that's a bold move, Cotton. Like,
I was like, bro doesn't want to win.
No, why would they? They're playing Red Purple Luffy.
That's
No. I think there's reason for Red Purple Luffy. I'm not going to stay here and say that he's like the best leader or anything, but he's valid enough to
Bro,
play.
if Enel did not exist, Red Purple Luffy would be fine. That's literally, he just brings the game to a crawl. That
Red Purple Luffy just has a hard time coming out of.
Yeah, literally, it's like I have 2 Whitebeards on my board.
It doesn't matter because you don't have enough attacks to hit me.
Yeah, so it's like I have these 2 Whitebeards. My leader's now 8k, and I can't do anything with it because it's like, well, you're already at 1. And that's the end of the turn.
Yeah.
It's if I do continue to hit you and try to take advantage of me being 8k and this additional swing I have, I'm just letting you cycle cards out of your hand at that point.
Yeah.
And maybe even potentially putting bodies on the board.
Yep.
So it's like, Enel just he says you can do all that you want to do, but unless you can kill me, it does not matter. And I'm going to add extra turns to this game. So if you cannot last long enough to be able to get to the point where you can put get the 4 attacks,
yeah,
then it doesn't matter. And I say 4 because realistically it's 3, but you have to account for El Thor,
the counter
Veggie,
turn, the counter
Sanji,
turn. Yeah.
Yes.
And then and the funny thing about that is that Enel brings a cool mindset to the game, which is why I really enjoy Enel versus like Katakuri and other decks. He's the one leader that doesn't really care about how strong a character is versus how many attacks do you have.
Yeah, he forces you to go wide.
Because he forces you to go wide. Because it could be like, I go 16. All right, I'll take it. Heal.
Yeah.
And then it's on you to be like, well, how do I gauge out my Dawn? And then from that point, it's like, well, if you gauge out your Dawn, I will punish you for it.
That's the problem too. And it's like, because he does basically, he makes it so that a lot of decks just don't really have that great of a shot. At like just, I guess, trying to compete with him because he forces you to go wide and some decks just aren't supposed to, they're just not meant to do that.
Yeah.
It's why he has a favorable matchup in Sakazuki. That's not what Sakazuki wants to be doing.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go super wide. His board is huge.
Yeah.
But 2 to 3 of them are blockers.
And
you don't really want to swing with them because the moment you swing with them, the Enel, if you don't win, the Enel is going to clear your board.
A couple are blockers, a couple are brand news. A lot of them are just dying to, because a lot of them are just searchers, like brand new.
Yeah.
They're just dying for free to Yamato. And not to mention, like, his real swings are like, if they play the Kuzan or it's Lucci. And Lucci turns aren't even going wide. Realistically, it's like, I'm playing a Lucci, but if I'm playing a Lucci, the rest of my Dons being, like, spent on lowering cost at that point.
Yeah.
The only exception would be if I played a Rebecca to put a Hina on board.
Yeah.
That's literally it. Like, that's why that match was favorable, because Sakazuki has to be able to put 3 to 4 real attacks on the board.
Yep.
That's why he played so badly into Purple Luffy.
Yeah.
Purple Luffy just went wide by default. He just didn't care. You know, he was establishing, because his gameplay, he wanted to put out a 6k blocker that refunded the Dawn. He wanted to put out Ulti Page 1. And then it's like him getting the last attack too. He already ran 9-drop Kaido.
Yeah.
So it just he naturally did what was required to beat NL. And a lot of the other decks just don't do that. And then all the other decks too that did go wide by default, like Zoro and all that, just don't see play because that's another thing too. So we're in a point where the meta, so Enel forces you to go wide to be able to compete with him, and Sakazuki will punish you for going wide. Like, he'll go, you went wide, I'm gonna.
It's definitely a catch-22. Do you think, and this goes out to both of you, do you think we're in a triangle format right now?
I don't think we are. I don't think we are, because I think realistically all 3 decks would have to be viable for the triangle. And I think
You don't think Purple Luffy is valuable?
I wouldn't gamble my run on a Purple Luffy when Sakazuki exists. When he's the most represented leader, there's no fucking way.
Yeah, but the second most so because the way I see it is that Sakazuki checks the Purple Luffy. Purple Luffy checks Enel.
Right.
Enel checks the Sakazuki.
Well, no, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. But it's why I said all 3 would have to be viable. I don't think Purple Luffy's not at the level of Enel and Sakazuki. He just isn't. Like, let's be real. He just isn't. He's not dodging Sakazuki. Because that's the thing, too. Sakazuki can win his Enel matchup. Whereas... And, like, he needs stuff to go right, but he can do it. Whereas it's a lot of a taller ask for Purple Luffy to beat the Sakazuki. Like, a Sakazuki can play really well all day and make it up there. Whereas a Purple Luffy also can, but, like, a lot more needs to go right. He needs a lot. The stars need to align to basically get him to that point. If he can dodge, just keep hitting Enels back to back, sure. But you're not dodging a bunch of Enels. I mean Sakazuki's. And once you do hit them, like you need to see ulti page 1. You know, you need to see Kid Blocker, then ulti page 1.
And it's M drop.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you think, Nick?
I swear he's here.
I swear he's here.
Purple Luffy sucks. Enel should go kill itself. Sakazuki for the win.
Wow, that was quick,
Yeah.
straight to the point. Love it.
Any topic that does interest you, Nick, that you would like to talk about?
No, you guys are good. I've got groceries sitting outside. I'm just kind of waiting for this to be over.
Go get your groceries.
Just go get them. Yeah.
You think this is a serious podcast?
It really isn't. It really isn't.
We're just here shooting the shit. That's all the small hat way is.
Yeah.
Is shooting the shit and
Yeah, no, realistically, I think for us to be in a rock paper scissors format, I think you have to have 3 decks that all legitimately have an equal chance of just going in and winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I think that Enel's a very safe bet. I think that Sakazuki's a very safe bet. I think Purple Luffy's a lot more of a gamble. And
Sure.
that is the reason that I wouldn't say we're in a rock paper scissors format. That would honestly be it.
But yeah,
With
that said,
yeah, I was gonna say, with that being said, anything else you do want to talk about, Manny?
nah. I'm just down for this. I'm just down for this for the small hat local this Saturday, where we're gonna host yet again, killing it. It was fun the first 2 times. We're on for number 3.
Number 3.
And Vic's gonna be second place for the 3rd time.
Vic's gonna take the $40 as per usual. Other than that, though, you're competing for either $100 or $20. Or you just don't top and don't get anything. But anyway, with that being said, then until next time, we'll see you guys.
See you guys. Bye. There you go.
Nick said bye in case you couldn't hear him.